Hey guys, it's Heather. Excuse me, Heather Feathering, and I am here just for a kind of quick update about plastics. This morning I had my second local doctor consult, and I really liked him, and we'll probably be scheduling my date later today or tomorrow. That's awesome. But I wanted to go through the two consults I had and just sort of do some information while I still have it all fresh in my head. So the first consult I had was mid last week, I think. I wasn't supposed to have this consult until next week, but they had an earlier spot open up and called me yesterday, and so I went in this morning. Anyway, so the first guy said that he felt that I still had a lot of visceral fat, that I had, he could feel my abdominal wall, and that there was a lot of visceral fat, and that maybe if I lost about 10 pounds, it would be better, and that, maybe, that might help. But he suggested that we would do it in a staged approach and do an arm lift and breast lift first, and then do the stomach and implants later. He said that statistically, if you do implants with a lift at the same time, you are more likely to need a revision later. Across the country, not just for him, just like for everybody. So I was like, okay, that would have been fine. And so he would correct the asymmetry that I have and lift, and basically I, do that and do the arms first, and then come back and do the tummy later, and hopefully I'll have lost 10 pounds and be okay. Be smaller. So he didn't talk as much about the tummy, although he did say, a fleur-de-lis would be my best option if I didn't mind having, a scar up and down, which I don't. And so it all sounded okay, and I was kind of okay with doing it that way, and that's a thing. It would be okay, but I was not thrilled. I wasn't like, let's schedule this right now, and I was feeling a little bit, bad about, I've done all this and now I still need to lose 10 pounds, and I was kind of afraid that if I lost 10 pounds that it wouldn't come off of my stomach, my visceral fat, it would come off everywhere, and then I wouldn't really be any better. And I kind of want to lose 10 pounds anyway, but haven't really been fighting to do that. I'm still sticking around like between 165 and 170. So, I'm okay with that being sort of a maintenance range for right now. And anyway, if I lost 10 pounds, great. But I really, I feel good at this weight, except for like my stomach, which, is my largest problem area. Anyway, so that was that doctor. And then, so I saw this doctor this morning, and he basically said everything that I thought about my body and what I needed. He reiterated to me, not like I told him and then he said, yeah, that's right. But he basically said everything that I thought about my body. That he's offering a corset, what he calls a corset body lift. It's slightly different than what Dr. Moya does, where he doesn't necessarily do a full incision under the breasts, but he says it might be, about like that far, just because I don't have a whole lot extra there, but maybe a little bit, so he might pull just to get everything. But otherwise, it's kind of like a fleur-de-lis, but he calls it a corset. I don't know, whatever he calls it, it ends up with the incision here and pulling around the sides. And he's like, yeah, your butt's probably not something you're worried about. I'm like, no, it's not. And so what I would suggest for you is this, and it's like, that sounds great. So let's see. And then he would do, so he said for me, he also would do a breast lift first, and then an augmentation later. So for me, what is best for me would be the abdominoplasty, breast lift, and a Mons lift at the same time. All that first. And then later, 3 months or whenever I want to do it, do an augmentation and the arms. He says he likes to do what will be a big, wow, I love this, I'm so happy thing first. And also, he did say, so I was telling him when I was fully dressed that, I've been told that I still have some visceral fat, and that, I think that that's just sort of being a little rounder in the stomach is just sort of like, my family is like that. The other women in my family are kind of like that anyway. We just kind of have thick middles. I'm never going to be sort of super hourglass shaped. It's just not the way I'm built. But so when he said he didn't think I did when I was clothed, when I took my clothes off, and he poked and prodded, and he was like, well, yeah, you do actually have some, and maybe we need to see your doctor because it looks like you're done. You are, slightly above normal BMI. You're skinny, like, arms are skinny. You've done your work, and you're ready for this. It's time for me to do my work. So he, for the stomach issue, he laid me down just to make sure that I didn't have, like, my uterus wasn't like really large, like something in there that needed to be fixed physically. And so he laid me down, he felt my uterus, he's like, no, it feels fine, doesn't feel huge or anything. And but he said when I laid down, I was on my back, I was much flatter. And so, like, he said that he felt that maybe it is more diastasis recti, the muscles separated, and just that not being able to come together and all that, maybe making me seem rounder in my stomach than I could be. So he says that made him feel a lot better about my results with what he can do. And then, I'm not looking for a thigh lift right now, but he's like, you're a perfect candidate for just like a crescent thigh lift. Yes, that's what I think. And so basically everything that I thought about my body and that I thought I needed and that would be the best results for me. Now, obviously, I am not a plastic surgeon, and I do a lot of research, but I am not a plastic surgeon. I haven't done this, but I've looked at other people who have my body type and that kind of thing, and I see myself take it all the time, and so I know where my problem areas are for me and what I feel, and so we just sort of meshed as to what I felt was best for me and what he felt was best for me. And so, and my husband was there with me, and he was like, all right, let's schedule it. Let's put our money down and get the date we want and schedule it. So hopefully we will be doing that. It is not cheap, but and I probably won't be talking so much about the cost, but as I have said before, we are in a very good financial position to be able to afford this right now. We just are. So while it would be, so his price for that is, it's hard to compare. So the breast and arms were less than half of this, but I don't know what it would have been for the abdominoplasty and everything for the other doctor. The corset lift with Dr. Moya was less than this, but didn't include breasts. Excuse me. So it's hard to really compare, but I kind of feel like if Dr. Moya's quote had included breasts, we might be about the same. Anyway, so it is going to be expensive. I am not pushing my insurance company. I'm not even going to try. It's not in the cards. It's not worth the fight, given that I can afford it without that. If I couldn't, then I would have been searching for other alternatives. But anyway, so I think that I have found my doctor. I think that I'm going to know my date very soon, and I'm really excited about it. I know it's going to be very painful and all of that, but I'm really excited. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys later.